Good morning, guys. It's Monday, and lately I've been thinking about, well, if you listen to any of my past videos, you'll know that I focus a lot on the mind and the thought process. And maybe that's because of the way God designed me. I do a lot of thinking, I do a lot of analyzing, a lot of efficiency type analyzing, where I'm trying to figure out the most efficient way to do it and how to do it, and not only that, being the most cost effective. So I do a lot of analyzing, a lot of thinking on my daily basis. And so for me, a lot of my struggles happen in the mind. So I don't necessarily struggle with physical issues, and anything related to the physical, whether it's temptation, whether it's I don't know. That's all I can think of right now. But a lot of issues in life, in marriage, in relationships, in pretty much every aspect of life come from the mind. And because that is the number one place that I believe, at least for me, that the devil attacks me. And the reason I'm saying this is because what will happen is I'll be thinking a thought, and all of a sudden I'm taken to a completely negative connotation of that same thought, and it happens in probably less than a second. And the key thing to remember is we need to take those thoughts captive and apply Jesus to them. And so that could be simply, hey, I'm thinking negatively with this person. Before I let that thought get any further and manifest itself into my heart and actually become a semi-truth, even though it's not the truth, I need to take that thought captive and change it and apply Jesus to it. And therefore, Jesus wouldn't think that negative thought. So, and my family here recently has been attacked by the devil in the mind. And he's trying to warp and change what God has created. And I pray every morning the devil has no place in my family's minds. They have no place in my relationships. The devil has no place anywhere in my entire family ever. And I let the devil know that every day. And I pray that God protects their minds, that God shows them and guides them and directs them. And just today I was looking up just briefly, I spent probably like 10 minutes looking at verses about thought processes in the mind. And so I'm just going to briefly read a few of them to you. So it's Romans 8:6. So letting your sinful nature control your mind leads to death, but letting the Spirit control your mind leads to life and peace. That is so true. If we let the devil control our minds, let him drop things in our mind, we are going to be controlled by that. It's going to change our perspective of the person, the situation, the issue. It just changes it all, and it makes it so bad. And the devil can just change a few words in a statement, and then all of a sudden you're upset about it. All of a sudden you lose sleep over it. All of a sudden that's all you can think about, and it clouds your mind from the now and here. And he's constantly getting you focused down the road and worried about it. And so Ephesians 4:17-24 says, with the Lord's authority I say this, live no longer as the Gentiles do, for they are hopelessly confused. Their minds are full of darkness. They wander far from the life God gives because they have closed their minds and hardened their hearts against Him. They have no sense of shame. They live for lustful pleasure and eagerly practice every kind of impurity. But that isn't what you learned about Christ. Since you have heard about Jesus, you have learned that the truth comes from Him, throwing off your old sinful nature and your former way of life, which is corrupt by lust and deception. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Put on your new nature, created to be like God, truly righteous and holy. Listen, when we come to God, we are taking off our old sinful nature. We're changing our mind thought process because God is now renewing it. He is blessing it. He is a part of our life now. We are one together, and He is there to change our thoughts and renew our mind. Psalm 94:18 says, I cried out, I am slipping, but your unfailing love, O Lord, supported me. When doubts filled my mind, your comfort gave me renewed hope and cheer. Matthew 22:37, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And these are just, again, guys, just a few that I looked up. But the battle and the war, for me at least, is in my mind. And I believe that's the case for a lot of people that I run into. It's a state of mind. And I'm not telling you to go meditate. I'm not telling you to hum loudly at a certain pitch for an extended period of time. Not at all. What I'm saying is every thought that comes in your mind that is negative, you need to capture it and apply Jesus to it. Is this something Jesus would think? And 9 times out of 10, I'm betting you no, if it's negative, because God didn't create those things. The devil creates those things, and he puts them there to distract you from your purpose that God has for you. And the further the devil can throw you off your path, the worse it is. And so you must focus your attention on Jesus in the here and now, and every thought that is negative that would not be true, and especially in relationship, guys. You know, in marriages, we see that a lot of issues in marriages start in the mind. They start there, and they manifest themselves out of their mouth, and you begin to demonstrate what you're thinking. And so I would just encourage you guys today to, any thought that is negative or not of God, that you would apply Jesus to it. I love you guys. Be good today.